Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
If 2020 has taught us anything, it's to take nothing for granted. So when you expect hot water and get cold, when you expect the shower to drain and it doesn't, when you turn the furnace on and it won't start, stop freaking and call Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
Hey, Ola, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Oregon man who was showing off his pistol to a buddy in a checkout line of a grocery store on Sunday night probably regrets that decision. Why would you want to show your buddy a gun in the line of a grocery store?
I just feel like if I'm going to show my buddy a gun, maybe it's the black man in me, but I'm not going to pull it out in a place of business.
Near a cash register.
Right. I just feel like everyone's going to get the wrong idea.
When Nicholas J. Ellingford, 29, went to put the semi-automatic Glock 9 back into his pants near his zipper, police say he accidentally pulled the trigger and shot a bullet through his groin and out his thigh. And missed his femoral artery. He was airlifted to a hospital. He is recovering. However, police say he could face criminal charges for reckless behavior as well as failing to have a license for a concealed handgun.
That's a problem.
Big or small would freak you the hell out. 206-421-ROCK.
Good news, everybody. Bob is back. Hello, Bob. Welcome back to the Men's Room.
Hola!
Hola!
Let's try it again, Bob. Go ahead.
All right, man. So, anyways, I was living in this house. Real old house. I'm in bed watching a movie, so all the lights are out. It's just the light from the TV. And I'm laying there in bed, and this winged creature flies across the TV and lands probably a foot and a half down below my chin on my stomach. This thing was the size of a bat.
What was it?
Well, hold on now. I slip out of bed because I don't want to move it. And I run out and I go and I get my roommate and I'm like, man, there's something in there and I think it's a bat and you got to get it out. And he's going, there's no way I'm going in there. So I sneak back in my room with a pot and a broom. And this damn thing it had to have been like some kind of a locust. It was like 5 inches long.
Is it like a praying mantis or something?
Man, I don't know what it was. It looked like a giant grasshopper.
Yeah, that was a praying mantis. That's a praying mantis.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's a praying because they're very large, they're kind of crazy looking, and they just stare you down.
Its head is distinctly separated from its body. It's almost like it has a neck. Yeah, that's a praying mantis.
Do they fly?
Yes, they fly. They do fly.
They do, man. Yeah.
And they are. They used to be an endangered species.
Are they not now?
I don't know, but back in the day, if you killed one of those, that was not cool.
You're breaking. Right. That's what I always heard. And I'm like, the problem is, it is a giant monster. And for me,
but they're docile. They don't bother anybody.
Yeah, praying mantis, never had an issue with. But same thing, when I was a kid, it was like a giant deal. Like if you saw one.
You killed one, man.
But it was also, you just didn't see them that often.
Like a hummingbird. You know what I mean? Just rare.
Actually, I see hummingbirds all the time.
You do?
I got one plant in my yard. The sons of bitches can't leave it alone.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah.
Could you ever imagine killing a hummingbird? What kind of person would do that?
My
buddy did.
He killed it on purpose?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Why did he kill a hummingbird, man?
10 or 11 years old.
What's he do now?
I don't know what he does now, to be honest with you. I think he's in construction.
Killed a hummingbird.
I saw a hummingbird get stunned, and then we thought he was dead, but he was all right.
How'd he get stunned?
Deck, glass, like...
flew into it.
He flew right into it. And also in third grade, I made a paper mache one.
Paper mache hummingbird.
Oh.
Everybody got a bird. I got the hummingbird.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Big or small would freak you the hell out. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Sheila. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen. How are you today?
Hola. Wonderful, Sheila. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, this is the story. I had a minivan when my son was younger, and he played ice hockey. So I continuously had it full of young players and all of their gear. And we got in the minivan, and I looked over, and there was this huge wolf spider, which are totally scary on their own. I got it out of the van, jumped in, started the engine, and kicked on the air. And about 1,000 baby spiders.
No.
Through the van. They were pinhead size, super, super tiny, but as soon as they hit your skin, they started crawling. It was not a happy day.
No.
So what do you do? I mean, do you just keep driving? Do you pull over, get out? I mean, what?
Well, I used profanity.
Sure, guaranteed.
And pretty much sacrificed the van to the spiders until I could get a bug bomb, a spider bomb, and I set it off inside my van.
Well, it probably killed some of the smell from the kids.
I was going to say, hockey, that's a unique funk.
That is a terrible smell.
Nothing kills the smell of hockey gear.
Not even bug bombs.
No, not even hockey.
Not even a bug bomb. There's nothing, and there is no other sports participant in the world that is as superstitious as hockey players. They don't clean gear because they won a game, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, baseball players do the same thing, but their gear is not nearly as pungent.
Right.
Well, it's tough with hockey, too, because you're inside, right? It's a cold place. Right. So you're sweating. It all gets, and there's a lot more pads. Mm-hmm. And then you're just in a weird, heated room afterwards. And
yeah.
What is it like for you as a non-hockey player? Because I know you go with Biggs when the Donkeys play with the All-Star or whatever, but you're in the locker room with these guys.
Yeah.
What is it like for you who is not playing hockey and the smell of all these guys kind of hits you?
It is pungent.
It is.
Can they even tell, or are they nose blind to it?
No, it's not as bad like right after they get off the ice, but like you got to air that gear out.
Okay.
Sometimes, there's a great beer garden at that tournament.
I had thousands of these little bugs. I had a nest that was in the back of the exhaust fan of my oven. Mm-hmm. So your hood, basically, mine was, the way my kitchen works is there's a microwave over top of the stove.
Right.
So the fan's underneath the microwave, and it just goes straight out. There's a chute with one of those old flaps. A bird had got in there, opened up the flap, decided to build a nest from the outside.
Oh.
You could hear the little birds in there. Oh. It was a process. You could hear the babies getting all excited. When the mom came back with food, they would chirp, 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 lose their mind. They'd be quiet for a little while. Then this process would repeat for a few days and then weeks or so or whatever. And then the noise stopped. So all the little birds had been hatched and they got big enough and fat enough and they left the nest, except for one, the one that died. I didn't realize what had happened exactly, but the smell of imminent death was in my kitchen. And I mean, when I say death, it hit you like a wall.
Right.
It was such a thick smell. So then there's kind of like a screen on the underneath side of the microwave where the steam goes up into, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's got holes in it. I noticed in 2 days there that my stove top is physically moving. Some type of mite had decided that it was going to make that dead bird its home. And I'm talking thousands of these things. They look like little white spiders. They look like crabs.
Right.
For the most
maggots?
Part. They're not maggots. They're little tiny, tiny crabs. But you could see them moving everywhere in waves all over my stove. And still, the smell is still there. And now they are dropping. They are dropping.
So it's like snowing out of the bottom of your microwave.
So then I had this genius idea. You know what I'm going to do?
Move.
I'm going to boil a big pot of water and shove all that steam up there. And you know what I mean? See if I can get. Now they're dropping into the pot. Now the smell has gone from horrible to absolutely unbearable. Like I'm
of course, you're steaming it, so.
And I got the exhaust on, like trying to see if I could suck any of that out. Man, was that a dumb idea.
And what do you do in the end?
Somebody had to come up there, an exterminator, get a ladder, go in there and rake all the crap out, and then spray a bunch of crap in there to kill the mites. Big or small, what freaks you the hell out? 206-421-ROCK.
The beautiful sound of birds until they die.
It's always something.
Now it's snowing mites.
It's always something.
Hello, Greg. Welcome to the men's room.
Que pasa?
Hola.
So, I know a couple of you guys have children of your own.
Yep.
And you have this glorious moment where you have your infant child on your belly and you're just kicking it there, and you're playing, and you put this child up in the air, and then said child pukes up breakfast into your mouth.
Yeah, I think I've eaten 3 meals that I never had to chew in the time that I've had children.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes right in and right down as a reflex.
Yeah.
What did she eat for breakfast?
Man.
Standard baby food?
Oh, no, this is breast milk, thankfully.
That's a unique chalky flavor.
Well, it's like honey milk. It was, from a taste standpoint, I could have done a lot worse.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But from a what the F just happened, it was not one of my favorite moments with my son.
No,
that's fair. That is fair. I've been puked on a lot.
Different experience that freaked me the hell out with my second kid. Don't really talk about it much. Maybe I've never told this story before because it freaked me out so bad. But when you're when the kid is 3 months old, 2 months old, whatever the deal is, you're just physically exhausted.
Yeah,
everybody's physically exhausted. Everybody in the house is physically exhausted. It doesn't matter what the deal was. One afternoon, I went out and cut grass, did all the stuff that I was supposed to do. I'm coming inside. I'm going to take a little nap. Kid's kind of being a little bit fussy. So I'm like, all right, I know for a fact that if I put the kid on my chest, she will go to sleep. No big deal. Sure. I can calm her down, whatever. So I lay down on the couch. I put my kid on my chest. I'm holding her. She falls asleep. This is great. Next thing you know, I hear thump, 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 thump. I had fallen asleep. My kid had rolled off my chest onto the hardwood floor. Oh, yeah. And I hear this scream and I like this shrieking. I'm like, oh, God, the kid just rolled off my chest onto the floor. Hard.
Oh, yeah.
Hard. That's not good parenting.
Look, man.
I'm like, did I break the kid's skull? You know what I mean? I'm thinking of all these things.
What I discovered about being a parent since I've become a parent, there's no such thing as good parenting. There's just things you're not going to share with your kids when they get older.
Mm-hmm. Does it eat? Does it have a place to live?
Right. Yeah. That's it. The kid seems happy. They don't need to know anything else.
Well, a few years ago, I was visiting with my cousins, right? And look, I'm great with dogs. And I don't mind children, but I don't need to hold them. You know what I mean? Like, when
you say it like that,
yeah,
I'm just saying.
I don't mind children.
Like, they like me and stuff. Tell them a joke. But, like, people are just like, hold the baby, hold the baby. Like, I don't need to hold the baby.
Right. So, you're very clear. I do not want to hold your baby.
Why don't you want to hold the baby? Afraid he's going to poop on you or whatever?
Just on my bag, man. I don't know.
All right. No, until I had kids, I never wanted to hold anyone's kid.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, no, I don't.
But I'm back east. My cousin is like, hold the baby, hold the... I says, all right, I'll hold the baby. Within seconds, it pukes on me. Right?
No way.
Right. And then there's also my cousin. This is an infant. She's already pregnant again. So then as an adult, I just look at my cousin. She's like, yes, it can happen. I'm like, all right. So it's already gross enough, right? Of course, supposed to be eating Litos, this and that. I've already got puke all over me. But it didn't get really bad till early January when I told Miles that story. And he goes, yeah, it's your cousin's breast milk.
Yeah.
Why did you let me know that?
Well, that's what they eat.
I know, but it just made it worse.
You just don't want to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Cousin breast milk. Yeah. West Virginia, we call that a
smoothie.
5-star meal. Big or small, what freaked you the hell out? 206-421-ROCK.
Hook me with that 2-nipple smoothie, man.
I'm going to go over to my cousin and get some of her breast milk. She's pregnant again. I'll make White Russians out of it.
Good news for me.
Yeah, exactly.
She's pregnant again.
I like it creaming in my coffee.
Hello, Drevick. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
Boats and hoes.
Boats and hoes.
Sure.
Boats and hoes. Anyway, so my story starts off when I was about 14, 15. I think I was about 15. I went over to my buddy's house. Now, mind you, this is one of the meanest people I've ever met in my life.
No wonder he's a friend.
This is one of those guys that he was my brother's friend. He's older. We all took martial arts when we were younger, but this guy, he when he hits things, they break. It's kind of the thing.
Okay.
Anyways, so he had me over to watch his kid one day. I'm watching his son. Mind you, his son is just as mean as he is. But he's got a dog, okay? He's got a dog, a Rottweiler named Rocky.
Rocky the Rottweiler.
Rocky is one of the biggest Rottweilers I've ever seen in my life. Ever. Okay? And Rocky is, as soon as I came to the door, Rocky came at me. He was going to tear my face off. Okay? And my buddy, I'm not going to say his name, but he stopped him. He said, "No, this is good people. You know, this is good people. Leave him alone." So I'm here. I'm about to watch his kid, and with this dog that almost tore my face off when I walked through the door. Okay. Now, this entire time, I'm sitting here with the kid, and Rocky is calm and cool for hours. I'm watching my buddy's kid. Everything goes great, except that his kid tries to take my leg off with a stick one time. But other than that, everything went fine. Now, Rocky, at some point, I'm sitting on the couch about half an hour before my buddy gets home. He gets home, and Rocky, a half an hour before that, gets up on the couch right behind, like on the top of the couch behind you, right? Sits right down behind me. His head is right behind my head, okay? For half an hour, this dog is cool and calm. And then my buddy walks in the door, and he's messing around, doing whatever he's doing. We're all talking, kind of just, bull crapping for a while, and nothing. This dog is just sitting behind my head, cool and calm. And about an hour and a half after my buddy gets home, out of nowhere, this dog just went, just freaks out right behind my head. And this, mind you, is like a mastiff of a Rottweiler. It is like a mastiff. This thing is huge, okay? Just gigantic. And when it freaked out behind my head, I about lost every bowel movement. I got up, I ran across the room. Well, at first, I was cool, calm, and collective, and then as soon as I saw my opening, when I realized he wasn't going to bite my ear off like Dyson, I got up and I shot across the room. I'm pretty sure there was no need for me to go to the bathroom after that point. Just the need for me to change my drawers.
Oh, no, you used the bathroom in your pants?
Yeah, well, I just beat a little bit. I'm going to try to act like I'm a man about it.
But even a little bit is a lot when it's in your pants.
You know what? I couldn't trust the fart at that point.
No. What? The later you get in years, yeah, you can't do that either. Whatever happened to your buddy? Is he still a mean guy?
You know what? He's on his second kid now. His first kid is about 20 now, and his second kid really just calmed him out. This is the kind of guy that you never expected would ever, settle down or calm down. But he's, if you're his best friend, he'll do anything for you. But if you're his enemy, you don't want to be that guy.
Did he have a daughter the second time around?
He has a stepdaughter, but no. At first he had a son who's 20 now, and later he had another son, and I think he just got to the point where he's just leveled himself out, and he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. What if you're only decent friends with him? It seemed kind of extreme. Either you're his best friend.
So how about this? I'll tell you another story. We were sitting at the bus stop, and he was looking at me and my brother, and then he looked at this dude next to us, and then he looked back at me and my brother, and then all he did was turn over and punch the dude right in the jaw, knock him out, and then he turned back to us and laughed. And he was like, wow. And that was it. He was like, This is the kind of guy that when he hurts somebody, it makes him happy. And you don't want to be around him when he's happy. Anytime he's happy, you think he's either going to hurt somebody or he just hurt somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is your friend.
Mike and I had one of those, just say one of the people on the street there. We were picking up something yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And as we're walking down, the guy's just kind of standing there with a cup. He already seen, you could tell.
Sure.
Right? But then he just started laughing mantically. And I mean, just like, it was way too happy, and like, we had to walk by him, and like, there was that split second, like, that guy's insane. He might just try to punch us.
Mm-hmm. I think the only time I felt like this is in the Baltimore Public Library, and you could hear this guy laughing. And, laughter is infectious, so everyone's kind of chuckling, but none of us could find where this guy was. So me and this other dude, and we don't know each other, but it was clear we're both just trying to find who's this guy. I mean, for 20 minutes straight, so people are kind of smiling and all this. Well, we finally tracked this guy down, and he's standing in an aisle of books, the magazine section, and it's his brother with massive afro, the jersey of a football team that I promise you does not exist, pair of camel pants, and one of those big, long-ass camel bags. And he is, like, doubled over laughing, like tears in his eyes. He can't stop laughing, and I realized he's reading Soldier of Fortune magazine.
Ooh.
So I looked at him, looked at his laugh, looked at his bag, and I'm like, I'm leaving. Yeah. And I swear, I thought for sure there was going to be a mass shooting at the library. There wasn't. But I'm like, you know what, man? Like, all of my spidey senses, for lack of a better term, are like, you should go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this guy was laughing like, man, but he didn't start till right about as me and Mike got to him. And then it's just like, all right.
Ryan Castle on the way. We'll once again sit and spin. Last time it was songs about misters. Today, all about the ladies. 10 songs about Miss or Mrs. Such and Such. Coming up right after emails. On our question, big or small, what freaked you the hell out?
Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
Got a hankering for a sessionable hazy IPA? Elysian Brewing's Contact Haze is just the brew for you. Order Contact Haze and your other favorite Elysian brews like Space Dust from ElysianBrewing.com today for free delivery. ElysianBrewing.com. Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
You're in the men's room. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
A British man who was denied an alcoholic drink aboard a flight to Palma de Mallorca. I don't know, somewhere in Spain. Because he was too drunk, went on a rampage and bit off part of his traveling companion's ear. 29-year-old first tried to open a fridge containing booze and then swiped a drink from another passenger before the flight from Birmingham touched down at Palma's airport on the Spanish Isle last week. While members of the civil guard spoke to the crew about the man's actions, then a fight broke out in the cabin. As officers were taking down details of what had occurred by the entrance to the plane, they saw a fight had broken out inside. They entered the aircraft and saw the detainee attacking another passenger after biting off part of his right ear.
Jesus.
He was overpowered and arrested. The injured passenger, described as the drunken suspect's friend, was taken to a hospital for treatment, as were officers who were also hurt in a scuffle during the arrest. Suspect, who was charged with alleged offenses of causing injury, has not been named. The airline has also not been identified. Civil Guard said in a statement that it is responsible for security and public order in all facilities of the restricted area of airports, as well as both inside the aircraft, both on arrival and departure. Big or small, what freaked you the hell out? 206-421-ROCK.
Miles, we've been on many flights together, and on at least 50% of them, I've seen you get cut off from alcohol service. I just want to thank you
I have not been cut off 50% of the time.
49% of the time.
I was going to say it's a little under 50.
Just a little. Maybe a little.
Probably 60-40.
But thank you for not biting my ear.
Absolutely.
But what Miles would
you're
do
the one.
see,
You're the one who smacked a flight attendant with a magazine.
Well, sure. She was getting annoying. It's just that seemed to be the proper response. Mm-hmm. Right after I did it, I'm like, I'm going to get barred from this airline and kicked off the flight. But I wasn't. Somehow she just smiled.
She liked you.
She kept that smile on her face. She hated us that entire flight. She was constantly coming back to us to settle down, calm down. We can't give you more alcohol, not because you're being outrageous, but you guys have consumed a lot of alcohol, and while you're kind of holding it together, we don't want to be responsible for your later actions. We're like, that's great. Can we just please have another beer or Jack? Or do what Miles does. He was sitting behind me. He gets cut off. And I see Miles' hand reaches over my head and presses the call button. So now, seriously, dude. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, man, just give me a vodka. I think it was a double vodka or something. So, flight attendant walks up. Can I get you some? I'm like, yeah. Can I get a double vodka? So now, she's staring at me because I've been drinking Jack. The only other person who's been drinking the double vodka is Miles, who's sitting behind me. She's like, is this for him? I'm like, no. Of course it was for you.
Mm-hmm. I told you, that's just the one rule I learned from hanging out with some flight attendants.
What's that?
Just
never hit the button.
Don't hit the button for booze.
I would never hit the button for booze, nor did I hit the button for booze.
My button.
Miles hit my button.
His button.
Had you hit your button before that?
No. I've never hit the button. I'd hit the button on his.
He hit my button. Right. So I'm that jackass.
I don't believe.
Can I help you?
I see you hitting that button.
I went, damn.
Oh, yeah, it's like right over my head. I'm like, what do you... Oh, no,
yeah.
Come on, man.
Take a double vodka.
Take a double vodka.
Hello, Wendy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey there.
Hola.
Hola.
So, Wendy, what freaked you the hell out?
Okay, so 1979, we're all at our teenage occupied apartment having a party. And so we've got, I don't know what all I can say, but anyway, extracurricular enhancements, I guess, going on. And it's pouring down rain outside, and my boyfriend, who was one of the people that lived there, takes off and leaves. And it's just pouring rain. A little bit later, he comes back. Everybody's bouncing off the walls. He has a bird on his shoulder, just like a robin or some whatever kind of wild bird, sitting on his shoulder like, you see people walking around with their parrot or something on their shoulder. Well, everybody was really, really high, and so it, freaked everybody out, and everybody was afraid of him.
Everybody was... Because he had, a robin on his shoulder or something?
He just, we lived close to a lake, and he had walked down to the lake, and he was high, too. But when he came back, this robin was just, sitting there, this little wild bird sitting on his shoulder, and when he walked in, everybody just, went silent, and then they were all screaming at him, dude, get away from me, get away from me.
I wonder, did he say how the bird just friendly and flew up to him?
Well, he just said the bird flew up on his shoulder, so...
Okay.
See, somehow the bird knows you're high, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, just like this dude is chill.
What was he on, acid?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We all were.
Yeah.
Everybody was.
When's the last time you've done acid?
Oh, my gosh. It's probably been 30 years ago.
Okay.
It's not so bad. You ever miss it?
It's been a long time. Yeah, but it was a trip, yeah.
It is a trip. That's a fact.
Yeah, acid trip.
You just need to have enough time. Time is key. And if not, just don't take that much.
Just don't do it. Don't think it's not going to hit you. Let me just do a little more.
Yeah.
Always the famous last words from people.
Oh, my God. Big or small, what freaked you the hell out? 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Willie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola.
So this is something different than some of the others, but I used to work in a computer printer warehouse company, manufacturing warehouse, and worked on the graveyard shift. And I was in the bathroom doing my thing, sitting on the can, and I looked down, doing my business. I looked down, and looking back at me is myself. There is a mirror, a very small mirror on a stick. You know, those mirrors that technicians will use to look underneath inside of a printer?
Yeah.
The guy in the stall next to me has a mirror, one of those mirrors, and he's looking at me in the next stall.
You're kidding me.
And no, I wish I was kidding. And I kind of went, what the heck, blank? And I heard this giggle. He kind of laughs. Somebody thought he was being really funny, and not another word, just this laugh. And I get up, put my pants back on, and I step outside of the thing, and I'm like, what's the, I cursed a few times, like, what, come on, and nothing. I kicked the door really hard, hoping it might pop open. It didn't pop open. I finally, I left the room and went back, because I had to get back to work. I had to get back to, my job. But I did notice whose shoes it was, and I did notice who that person was, and told everybody in my department, hey, this guy just did this thing, yeah, creepy, freaked me out.
Did you ever address him after the fact?
I did not.
Okay.
Well, let's face it, there's nothing sexier than a pooping man.
He knew who I was, I knew who he was, and I gave him looks, and I told everybody in my shift that this had happened.
And everybody knew.
That would be.
I never spoke to him about it.
That would have been flown up the HR flag here.
Yeah, and I rarely go to HR.
Pretty quickly, that's it, right. Hey, we got this guy who's...
I don't think I've gone to HR, but not not voluntarily. But I don't know that I've ever gone to HR.
I've been called into HR.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've interacted with HR often. Actually, the woman who runs for our entire company, right? We're talking nationwide. She's the person in charge. For whatever reason, she really likes me and Miles. Our boss, our direct boss, just doesn't think that's the best idea. But every time she comes into town, she makes it a point to stop by. How are you guys doing? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Real nice lady, but we understand who she is. But she has wanted to go out drinking with us for 15 years. And our boss has forbidden her from doing it every single time.
No, I've gone out with her.
I know you have. And you can do it. We can go out drinking with her if there are other employees there. But she just wants to go hang at the bar with me and Miles because she thinks all of our stories are crazy. She's like, I think I'd have fun with you guys. So there's no doubt. And we're down. But our boss, seriously, and there's no joke with him. He has stepped in to say, no, you are not going. And he is convinced that if she goes out drinking with me and Miles, he doesn't know specifically what he thinks we're going to do.
But we're going to get fired.
He is convinced that we will do something to get ourselves fired. It's been for 15 years. Seriously, he will not. He's like,
I ran into her there's somebody else we used to work with, and they were having some kind of get together. So I just ran into her randomly outside.
Sure.
Yeah. It was a blast. But
she's been fun. Anytime I've been out.
It's not that we don't want to go. It's just we're not allowed.
We are not.
You know what? I'm going to take his side on this one.
Okay. All right.
Look, there's the potential that something could go sideways. We do recognize that. But we have no ulterior motive. Somebody wants to go drinking with us. We like to drink.
We're going to give her one
She
of
wants
those.
to drink, right. Okay, nothing handsy's going to happen. It's just sort of
right? No.
Yeah, that's right. Big or small would freak you the hell out. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Scotty. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
How's it going today?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Oh, very good. Very good. So I was living up in Bellingham, and I made a propane and oxygen bomb. Basically, you just fill a garbage bag. You fill a garbage bag full of propane and oxygen and shoot it with a Roman candle. And I went to go do that. Went through 4 Roman candles. The candles were actually bouncing off the bag, didn't ignite it. And I was just like, F. So I went back to go get another one to go try to shoot it again. And on my way back to my roommates where they were all standing in front of the house, there was a police officer rallying across the street straight at us. And I was like, oh, here we go. So I acknowledged him and I was like, how's it going, officer? And he goes, hey, it's the 3rd of July. My computer screen is about 3 pages long. But I need you to stop that because somebody called called us 3 times on you guys, so can't do it anymore. And I was like, okay, I understand. Totally freaking out. Hoping he didn't see the trash bag behind me that was inflated, wondering what the heck that was. So he asked me for my license, ran my name, nothing bad. Asked me if I had any more fireworks, and I was like, yeah, a lot more. So he's like, you plan on lighting those off here? And I was like, nope. And then he left, and I just went up with a razor blade and cut the bag open, and no ticket.
Good idea.
Now, do you get nervous when they say, hey, man, we're going to run your name, even if you know you haven't done anything, but you still wonder, oh, man, what's going to pop up?
There has been times that I have, but that time I knew I was good to go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. There have been times, yes.
Big or small would freak you the hell out. 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Kyle. Welcome to the men's room.
Howdy. How you folks doing?
Hola.
Hola. So I was out with my cousin Sam. We were out in the woods, and we were kind of just goofing around. This is back when I was maybe 8 through 10 age. And we find this rusty, old, broken-down axe sitting out in the dirt. And naturally, being big, strong guy as I thought I was, I tried to lift it above my head and go, big, rusty axe. Well, next thing I knew, I see the tip of the axe fall through my vision and going down straight towards my foot. And I just feel this thump hit me real hard.
Oh.
Yeah. And so right then and there, I knew kind of what happened and what the whole situation was down at my foot, but I didn't want to look down. And so just that small little axe head, I was freaking out. I didn't see my foot. I didn't see any of that until we had gotten all the way up to the driveway, and my old man, my dad came out. And he threw super glue inside the cut until we could get to the hospital.
How bad did you split your foot open?
It wasn't too bad. It was maybe like an inch gash, like across the foot, and I don't know, maybe half an inch deep. So it went into the bone, but it didn't sever anything.
I saw a buddy put an axe into his shin, right down the middle of his shin. Right, I mean perfectly, like he just measured it out. It was straight down the middle of his shin.
What was he doing with the axe?
We were doing stuff for the Boy Scouts. Basically, what would happen was
did he make Eagle Scout?
I
would guess maybe not.
The Scoutmaster, he was the guy that would take the bigger logs and use the actual gas-powered splitter.
Yeah.
All right. But we would use old stumps, and basically on some of the smaller logs, we would split them by hand.
Okay.
So you bang the wood, once you lodge the axe into the top, that'll split open. When that bang and it split open, it just ricocheted right into his shin. And I mean, it was perfect. It was perfect.
What kind of sound comes out of someone when they hit themselves in the shin with an axe?
He let go of the axe, and the axe was stuck in his shin.
Oh,
to give you an idea of how far he went in there. And it didn't even seem like a big deal.
Not to
it
you.
didn't bleed. You know, a lot. I guess the front of your shin doesn't have like a lot of veins. I don't know.
Like chopping wood just seems like such a manly thing, and everybody does it. But it doesn't seem like it's that far off from that axe.
Oh, it's incredibly manly. I got my Paul Bunyan Award. Did you get that, Mike? Oh, you did. Okay, so it's not as manly as
Mike didn't even look impressed. That
yeah.
Mike's like, yeah, of course I
Would you remember the requirements for it?
No.
You had to cut down a tree and then basically cord it.
Oh.
Well, Mike did that.
You sure you did this?
Yeah.
You going to question the Eagle Scout?
I'm just saying, as somebody, trust me, we didn't have a fireplace. So I didn't chop a lot of wood. And as I've gotten older, some people have been like, can you chop that wood for me? So I was like, yeah, of course.
Sure.
And when you're chopping it, it's like, I'm going to chop off my damn foot.
Big or small, you got to spread those legs. Wood freak you the hell out, 206-421-ROCK.
Or when somebody gives you a hatchet and goes, just make some kindling.
Okay. All right. Guess where it is, Ted? James, welcome to the men's room.
What's up?
Attaboy, James.
God, man, I've listened to you guys since Flash Friday, Tom Leykos. I've wanted to talk to you guys forever, so thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, man,
anyway,
cool.
my freak out wasn't for me, but it's good enough to call in and tell you guys about. So, I had met this new girl. We started dating, and went over to her house to meet her parents for the first time, right? And we were in the back, and her mom came in with this little dead fish, and she's like, your friend, passed away, and it was like her favorite fish. So they went and gave it a memorial.
Oh, boy. What are you thinking? What's going through your head when they have a memorial for a fish?
I don't know. I mean, I was 18, and all I was really thinking about was,
we got you.
Okay. But it was like, okay, cool. Well, they decided to put it down the drain, and I didn't really understand why. And they were kind of standing around in silence, and I reached over and I turned on the garbage disposal.
Oh, damn. That's a nice way to memorialize. Well, we're going to miss little fish. Flush them down the drain.
I guess you didn't get to where you were wanting to go then after that.
Let's just say we're not dating anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. How long after that did they ask you to leave?
They were pretty much just mortified. They didn't really know what to think because it was the first time meeting me. They didn't want to be rude, but at the same time, they're like, "Dear God, what did we do?"
Well, it's not going to go down that drain on its own. It really is. If you got a garbage disposal in your drain, more than likely,
it's already dead.
So what?
Yeah.
Well, it is, but just the sound of it, you hear the bones. It wasn't good.
I had a friend put live goldfish in people's toilets at a party one night.
In the toilet?
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah, but then people use the bathroom.
I mean, those goldfish are getting flushed at some point.
They are getting flushed at some point in time. But at the same
So would everyone just go like peeing and pooping, but
it was
wouldn't
supposed to be a
flush?
joke. Like you go in there, you got to use the bathroom, and there's like 5 goldfish in the toilet. That was the idea. But then people started using the bathroom on top of them and not flushing. Oh. So I was like, come on, guys.
You didn't think this all the way through.
It wasn't my prank.
I mean, but it's a goldfish.
Right.
Like you could win them at a fair.
They hand them to you in a plastic bag.
Pretty much. Yeah. Big or small, would for each of the hell out, 206-421-ROCK. They were feeder fish. He had like an Oscar or something like that, ate those things like a couple times a week. I think he had a clown knife. You know what a clown knife is?
I don't know.
It's this big
What Ted uses to kill clowns.
Exactly.
Yeah, right? No, and I always
eats other fishes.
I just always shake my head at goldfish because I remember once, like, actually getting good grades, and it was like, you get a toy. My sister talked me into getting goldfish. Those suckers were dead in a week.
In a week?
Yeah.
Mine too, man. I won one in
They
third
weren't in, like,
grade.
we didn't have a filter. It was just literally like a bowl with goldfish in it.
If you don't know, you don't know. So I won a goldfish. I had to walk all the way home from school with it in the bag. I'm all excited. My mom fills a bowl with water, right? We put the goldfish in. Next day, eyes are bulging out, floating upside down.
Yeah.
Because, again, we did not know that you had to, like, do something to dechlorine the water or whatever. It's a fish. They live in water.
Right. And, again, we could have got a toy, but we went for a goldfish. I'm still pissed at goldfish.
Big or small, would freak you the hell out, 206-421-ROCK.
Hello, Jim. Welcome to the men's room.
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Jim.
Okay, so this is kind of an embarrassing story, but years ago I worked on the logs, and we used to get bundles of logs from Canada, and they would have rats all over them. So we would chop them open on the water, and next thing you know, you got rats swimming all over the place. And I literally had the 10-foot pole that you push the logs into the mill with.
Yeah.
And I went, watch me get this one. And I threw the pole at it. I got him right in the side, but he bit the pole. And I went, eek, like a little girl, and the pole dropped. And everybody's going, that's it.
The end.
Well
the
done.
end.
All right.
Ryan Castle on the way. We will sit and spin with 10 songs about Miss or Mrs. such and such. We did Mr. songs last week. It's all about the Mrs. coming up with Ryan Castle. Right after emails and our question, big or small, what freaked you the hell out?
The COVID-19 pandemic showed us how a microscopic virus could upend our lives. There is so much out there that we need to understand. But for every threat, there are heroes working at the edges of science and policy to protect us. I'm Dr. Abdul El-Sayed, former Detroit Health Director and host of Crooked Media's America Dissected. Every episode, I talk to the doctors, scientists, culture makers, and policy leaders who are working out new ways to protect us against our biggest threats. New episodes of America Dissected every Tuesday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.